Here's another big story for the day. Malesela Teffo, the controversial lawyer who was recently struck off the roll of advocates and was once the defense lawyer in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, is expected to appear in the Johannesburg Magistrate's court today. Teffo will appear on charges related to assault, fraud, corruption, trespassing and contempt of court, among others. The charges form part of the Legal Practice Counsel's complaint, which saw him disbarred. Our reporter Chriselda Lewis is standing by with an update. Chriselda, good morning to you. Clarify to us those charges that Advocate Teffo is facing.
Well, as you correctly point out, Naledi, those charges were amongst the ones that were used by the Legal Practice Counsel to have Malesela Teffo struck from the role of advocates. There were 22 complaints of misconduct against him, and the ones that you're mentioning now that are in this particular court that he will be facing are the very same charges that the Legal Practice Counsel had put before the High Court in Pretoria to successfully have him struck from the role of advocates. You would now know that since that decision, he has filed a rescission application. Essentially what he wants is that he wants the judges that had made the decision to have him struck from the role of advocates to be reversed. He wants that decision to be reversed. And let me just catch up with him. He's just come through now. Malesela Teffo, a very good morning to you, sir. You're back in court this morning, I understand, facing charges, quite an array of charges, and these were the same charges that the Legal Practice Counsel had used against you to have you successfully struck off the court roll.
Definitely, Chriselda. As we see now, because last time when I was here, we have agreed that it will be disclosure for today. So now I'm surprised. When I arrive here, there is no such disclosure now. So they are going up and down now. They said no, they are going to make the print out the disclosure. So nothing is ready now for me, you see.
So have you been told to leave and come back at a later stage, or what are you saying?
No, I'm waiting for I'm waiting for the lady to go and make the disclosure. I'm still waiting. The court, I will have to be in court today, and they must tell me what are the charges against me, because I definitely don't know. I'm just even guessing. But what I am aware, there is something similar to those things at the so-called LPC matter that allegedly struck me off the road.
These are serious charges against you, Mr. Teffo, in that the Legal Practice Counsel had used these charges to successfully have you struck from the role of advocates. I mean, are you not concerned? And I know that you've also filed a rescission application. You want the judges that ruled that you be struck off the role of advocates to reverse that decision. On what basis?
There is nothing serious about these issues. They're just making a hill out of the molehill. There is nothing serious. It's a laughable stock, really, to tell you.
Trespassing, alleged assault of 2 police officers, alleged corruption, alleged collusion, those are serious charges, which you seem to be laughing off.
That's the reason I'm here at court. I'm a law-abiding citizen in this country. That's why I'm here. So when I'm here, they cannot give me the charges today. Look, they are beating around the bush. They're sending me from pillar to post. So I say, no, we forgot to make the disclosure. I need disclosure here, and I need to be told what is that I'm charged with. Because insofar as I'm concerned, the charges insofar as the criminal is concerned, they've been withdrawn. I'm done withdrawal, representation myself, and they're withdrawn. So I don't know why I'm being dragged up and down, time and again, dragged to court.
But what do you say to those? I mean, the findings of the High Court in Pretoria relating to your practicing in the legal fraternity was quite damning. The judgment was quite damning. Essentially, you know, they would have said that you were a disgrace to the profession. There were colleagues who believed that you were a disgrace to the profession. What do you say to people like that who believe that you've not conducted yourself within the ethics of what those in the legal fraternity should be behaving as such, in particular in a court of law?
I think if I've committed something serious in relation to LPA, Legal Practice Act, I would have been called by the Legal Practice and they would have subjected me to their disciplinary hearing. So why didn't they subject me to the hearing? They just defer what is their process to High Court. What has happened at Library Court is, at the High Court is called expeditious. Why wouldn't you want me to have a chance? So if there are people who are complaining against me that I've took their money and everything, they cannot be a faceless people. People should have been there. Legal Practice Counsel could have called me to their processes. I'm accountable to them. I wouldn't even refuse to go there. And then the people who are complaining against me, then they could have come there. And why would the people who are complaining against advocate? What about the attorneys?
Are you saying then that the process in the High Court had been unfair on the basis that a part of those complaints related to you allegedly taking money from people and not representing them? That was part of those 22 complaints. Are you saying then this rescission application that you have filed to have these judges reverse that decision is on the basis that none of those complainants were called to testify?
Actually, there was never a case against me. There was just a fraudulent. Even when you look on that so-called judgment, that case number, I don't know that case number. That case number came on the day when I was in court, on the 4th of August. They brought that case number. I was never even served with a single paper with that case number. That's why we need a rescission, because I was never given a chance to respond for myself. So there was a collusion between the Legal Practice Counsel, the police, and the court. You see, so hence we say they must reverse.
Mr. Teffo, you keep making these allegations of alleged collusion. So many people are behind you. So many people are chasing you. So many people want you out. Where's the proof of any of that? There are a number of allegations that you have made against the police, against the president, against a number of individuals, and now you're saying even including the courts. Where is the proof of any of what you are saying if you want anyone to take you seriously?
It's obvious, Chriselda. In our jurisprudence, we say he who alleges must prove. Okay?
But you should also prove. You should know that better.
No. Just understand this. I don't have to prove. If they say I'm accused, I've got nothing to prove.
But where's the proof of everyone being behind you? The police, the courts, the president, and everyone else. I'm really asking because you've made allegations also, and there's no proof that has been brought to the fore at all about any of the allegations that you are making. Surely you should also be held to the same standard.
Where's the proof that I've taken someone's money? Where's the proof? I can hold back the same question. Where is the proof that I taken someone's money? Who is that person that said I took his money? Because my name was dragged on this, was soiled. You see, after the reading of that, you call it a damning judgment. You see, so and there was impression that was made that I don't have a right to appeal or to challenge that judgment. So this is the impression they made to the people. Where on earth? Not in this country where I was born and bred, and I will die as I'm born in this country, whereby the judgment cannot be challenged. Any judgment can be challenged. Even the judgment of the highest court in the land can be challenged. You see, so now you tell me about the judgment of the acting judge that cannot be challenged. That is, they made a wrong impression to the people because they know that what they did is absolutely wrong.
Are you representing? I heard something about you representing yourself here this morning. Are you here with the legal counsel?
No, I've got my lawyer. Myself, I just came here to collect disclosure so that we go back and sit down with my lawyers. I've got a team of experienced lawyers, very cunning lawyers. So, we want to deal with this issue. Don't worry. I will prevail.
You will prevail, Malesela Teffo. Of course, recently struck off the role of advocates. You would recall, Naledi him very prominent in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. You would recall he had previously represented accused 1 to 4 in that matter, accusing that court of bias. He is in court this morning on the very charges that the Legal Practice Counsel had put to the High Court in Pretoria recently, and successfully had him struck from the role of advocates. He says that that should not have happened. He's filed that rescission application saying that those very complaints were not even tested inside this court. And you would know that one of the charges that he is facing relates to alleged corruption, where he's alleged to have taken monies from certain clients and not represented them. He says the process in the High Court had been unfair on the basis that none of the people that made those allegations against him were brought to testify in that particular matter. So I understand that we're in this court here this morning for the disclosure of the docket. That will certainly tell us the nitty-gritties of the exact charges that he is facing and give us a bit of details. But I do know that they relate to the alleged assault of 2 police officers, alleged corruption, alleged collusion, alleged 3 counts, I understand, of contempt of court. But the docket itself will certainly give us an indication of exactly the totality of what those charges are. But you would recall there were 22 complaints that were laid with the Legal Practice Counsel that saw him being struck off the role of advocate. We're not expecting to be in court for much long this morning. That disclosure should relatively be quick. But Malesela Teffo wants his reinstatement as an advocate. He believes he's done nothing wrong. He does not believe that he's brought the legal fraternity into disrepute. You would recall there was that damning judgment in the High Court in Pretoria where he was basically castigated for not conducting himself in a manner with which would guide the legal fraternity in terms of ethics. So we'll have a bit more for you a bit later on and see how this matter does proceed. But he says he's got quite a number of experienced lawyers that will be representing him, and he believes that his challenge will be a success.